What is up, babes? So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a tea and chit chat, basically. I do have some clothes that I need to have folded, and I wanted to go ahead and put my flowers together as we sit here and chat. So I also wanted to tell you guys that I apologize for not getting my video out on Sunday. I had some technical difficulties as usual, because I'm still trying to learn this whole YouTube and editing and all of this type of stuff. So I just wanted to let you guys know. I did buy some little gadgets that can help me with this process, and I'm just praying to God it helps, right? So I bought this little sand disc. If you guys can see that, I don't know if you can see that. So I bought this, and then I don't think it's in here. I bought this little guy right here. So if that one don't help, then I have something else that can help me back it up. My other backup, it just burnt completely out on me, and I didn't know that I should be keeping a couple of these. And of course I have my Mac computer that I use, but my son was like, "Mom, why did you even buy this?" You know, during the time I thought I was buying the correct one, and it was not. So it's not like I could just take it back, because I had it for a year. But anyway, I apologize for not getting that video out. I'm going to do my best to get my videos out when they're supposed to be out. But lately I can't help, you know, some things that are going on. Then I have problems with our internet. Sometimes our internet is working, sometimes it's not. Since we are in a new development, we have issues, just like my cell phone. Sometimes I don't get reception. Sometimes I don't get text messages, phone calls, or my emails. So I'm just letting you guys know. I'm sorry. But anyway, to our chit chat. So right now I just wanted to let you guys know I am having some green tea with a little bit of honey. And the tea it has lemongrass in it as well. And I'm also drinking, I have a little piece of lemon in there. But anyway, I went and picked up some flowers from Trader Joe's on Sunday. So these are pennies, not pennies, but these flies is roaming around my house, is really getting on my nerves. So you just get you some cool water and put them in there. They only last about 4 to 5 days. I prefer to get them when they have, I need to put them in water right now real quick. When they have, these are actually opening up. Hold on. Let me put these in some water. When they're bold like that. So when they're like this, I get a longer period of time to have them in my house and enjoy their presence. So I'm gonna stick these in some water while we're talking. I also bought these, which are lavenders. You guys can see that. And I got some more over here, which are a lighter color. These are like my favorite flowers. I told my husband, this is all you have to buy me. But unfortunately, no, actually they come out in May. So May, you probably have a May, maybe early July, and then that's it for them. And then you guys, all you have to do is just cut these. You see these are bad. You know, I did have them till Sunday. I take it back. Yeah, thank you. So I did have these, I bought them on Sunday. And I had them sitting in water, and I still put them in the plastic. I left them in the plastic. I was so tired on Sunday after Father's Day. And then I was so geeked, and like, my husband let me stop and give me some flowers even though it was Father's Day. So I'm just gonna, you know, just take them off. Just peel them back with your thumb. Oh, no, it did not. Okay, that's because I didn't have them in water. You want to be able to enjoy these, and not the way we're enjoying them right now. They're falling off. Okay, let's get her into some water. So maybe we can save her. Just maybe cut it a little bit more on an angle. I'm just gonna cut some of these bad ones out. They probably won't fall out anyway. Just a little bit. Okay. That's why when you get pennies, you have to go ahead and put them in water and do what you gotta do, or you're not gonna have them flown at all. So I'm just gonna cut some of these brown ones out because I don't like them. Usually you could just pull them with your finger. Oh, hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay. So that one's not falling apart. I pulled some of the brown off of it and got rid of those bad leaves that was on her. Okay. We don't want them bad leaves, boo. No, we don't. See that stem? You don't want it to be moldy. I'm not no expert. I'm gonna tell you guys now, this is just homework that I have done or know that when I was a little girl that I remember my grandmother teaching me. So that's about it. I'm gonna just cut it on an angle some more. Take out these brown ones because I'm not feeling it. So we're probably gonna have this for a couple of days. It's a little warm in the house too. It's very hot in here. So that's probably another reason. And like I said, I didn't have it sitting in any type of water. I had them sitting out while I ate breakfast. So that could be another reason why they're coming out like that. That's okay. We're gonna make it last as much as we possibly can. The girl loves her some flowers. So my husband, flowers make my day. It's just something that controls the bee in me. You know, that bull. Y'all know that other word I'm talking about too. Trying to keep it PG, you know. A little bit PG-13 going on here. So I have these left over. They're not bad, so I'm gonna go ahead and put them in here as well. I'm gonna just clip some of these dead ones off. You could just pull them off. You don't have to really use. You can use any type of scissors. I was just tired of using scissors, so I grabbed these from the Dollar Dough. The Dollar Dough. No, I went to the Dollar Tree and got me some. So I just put a little bit of that in there, just making it look pretty. That's about it. Taking out some of the bad ones because you don't want them to mess up your flowers. And sticking up in there. And again, I am no expert, honey. Not at all. I just know what I like. Clip it off again. I'm sharing this because this is something that I like doing. I like putting flowers in my home, as you guys can see, because when I do my dining room, I put my flowers out. I love my flowers. I don't have Jewel to go and shop for my flowers anymore because I get my, what was my flowers? Buy 3 for $12.99 or something like that. Jewel's is a store that is based in Illinois. So that's where I was getting my flowers from at first. And then I used to spend money, and no offense to any florist out there, but I was spending money at the florist and they just wasn't making my flowers the way I wanted them. So I started going to, last year, I went and I bought my mom some flowers from a florist because we, you know, we have been through a lot of losing my little sister. And I'm like, well, let me buy my mom some flowers from the florist. So I go there and what did I get them? I made my order the beginning of May for Mother's Day because my birthday is around Mother's Day, and my birthday, my son's birthday, and my husband's birthday, all in basically in the same week, and Mother's Day. So I said, well, let me go ahead and pre-order my mom's flowers now. I already told them, I said, I pay for them right now. I don't want to pay for them later. So I paid for the flowers and everything. And then all of a sudden, I get there to pick them up on Mother's Day and they were horrible and they look old. I didn't like them at all. So I didn't feel like it. I know A lot of people hadn't been having any business since, you know, the pandemic was going on. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just take these flowers and just whatever. So I went to Jewel, which was downtown Arlington Heights. I went to Jewel and I got some flowers from my mom. Beautiful. They were beautiful roses. I bought some baby breaths, a couple of other flowers, and I put them all in one. I wish I had a picture to show you guys. And the bouquet was amazing. It looked better than the florist. And my husband's like, you're not going to a florist again. You're just going to buy your mama flowers and you're going to do them yourself. So that's what I do now. I go buy the flowers, or she even buy her own flowers, and I just sit at my table or my island and I'll make her flowers. I wanted to also discuss something else as far as my stuttering, or you may hear my words not come out correctly. Well, I currently have a gum disease that I'm going through, and sometimes my mouth flares up and is swollen, so I can't say my words properly. And I don't know, I've came up with this stuttering thing all of a sudden. So I found out that I can go through therapy after I finish the process of going through the dentist for my mouth. So I guess I will do that. So that's one thing I wanted to chat about. And let's see. I believe these are what's making the flower go bad. You see those leaves? Those bad leaves? They look horrible. So I'll just peel them off, like I said with the other ones. I can't even add another flower in here. So this is gonna go in my vase. Take this away, put it over to the side so the kids can go to some garbage for me. Daddy got them very quiet. I just wanted to add some eucalyptus in here. I don't know if what it would do to the plant, but they smell so good that I want to add some in here. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. And here's some here so I can smell it. I want to smell it when I walk in her room. Mix it in there with the plant. It's in the water. Yeah, it's in the water. Okay. So I just mixed that in there. You guys can see that. It's pretty, isn't it? This is something I love doing, and I love doing it with fresh flowers. I mean, you can do this with fake flowers. You can go to the dollar store, Hobby Lobby, Joann Fabric, anybody that carries faux flowers, and you can do it. Technically, I want to hang this somewhere in my house because it smells so good. I don't know where I'm gonna hang it at, but I think they have to have water because they look like they have mildew on them. I don't know. I don't know how eucalyptus work. This is the first time I'm actually using it. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna Google it before I actually put this one in my my other flowers. Because some of these leaves are bad. Anyway, so I wanted to get to the point of why I created my YouTube channel. And I also wanted to thank all my subscribers. I thank you so much for subscribing and joining my journey here on YouTube. I'm coming up with different, what do you call it? I'm coming up with different content as we speak, so I can show you guys. And if you have any ideas or things that you want to see, let me know, and I go ahead and see if it's something that I like, and I'll go ahead and do it. But anyway, y'all hear the washing machine going. The kids are actually very quiet. I don't know, I think my husband got them quiet. Anyway, so we're gonna start on these, so hopefully we don't have the same issue, but I think I'm gonna take this one off. I think that's what I want to do. So I just went and got some regular tape from the dollar store. This is not floral tape or anything. And then I'm just going to, oh, shit off my finger. Tape it onto my vase, honey. So I can give me some pretty flowers up in here. So this will look really nice. I don't like it showing either. Sometimes it shows, sometimes it don't. I'm like, what did I do wrong? Why is it showing? But whatever. Ain't nobody come in my dining room anyway that close. But us, when we ready to eat or we just sitting here talking, we use our dining room area. I love a formal dining room. I know a lot of people that don't, but I love a formal dining room. My camera, this camera dies so fast, like the batteries die so fast on here, and I'm looking at it right now and I think my camera's about to shut off. I think I'm gonna do one more piece. I think. So this is really not me giving you no tutorial on how to put your flowers in here because I don't even know if I'm doing it right, honey. Let me tell you. I don't know. Oh, yes. I wanted it a little closer to the vase this time. Look, we ain't got time for all of this. Whatever you trying to do right now, I don't have time for it. You don't want to stick today. You gonna stick today. Anyway, I started my YouTube channel back in October. At first, I was taking it really serious because I'm like, okay, this is something I want to do. And then I was like, I don't know if I really want to let everybody into my life really like that. I guess I really didn't because I'm only doing really a cleaning channel. If some fashion or whatever I put on here, I put that on here. I just wanted to put any and everything that I felt like. See that mildew? That I felt like, that mold rather, that I felt like putting on here. I don't like that. So these are not gonna last that long. So hopefully they open up really gorgeous, even though the stem is having some little issues. My sister, I used to post on just my Snapchat, and I'll post me cleaning up something, or I'll post, I will post me decorating something or doing little hacks around the house or whatever have you. And oh my gosh, this one is bad. Battery exhausted. I'm learning how to use this camera. But anyway, I'm gonna get to why I started my YouTube because I don't even remember where I left off at trying to fix this camera. I started it because I was grieving over my sister, of course, and this is a way that is helping me, not was, but is helping me to grieve her. So, wow. I guess the big question is, well, why did you move to Texas? Well, the big question on why we decided to move to Texas because one day I was traveling with my husband because he's an owner operator. So I was traveling with him over the road because I needed to heal. And I know the road is quiet and you can find peace out there. So we came to Texas right before, was it right before the storm or was it before that? It was before that. It was way before the storm happened here. And we were here for I think a day or two because we had to drop a load off, and I think it was in Carrollton or whatever it's called. And we were coming past around this area somewhere, and it hit me. I'm like, I knew I wanted to move. I didn't know where. I thought I was always gonna live where I was living, which is the northwest suburbs of Illinois. That's not where I'm from, but that's where I used to live. It wasn't anything as you need to go. So it's like I really didn't understand it. It was like, go. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to go with my mom or stay? And he told me to go. So I went. Couldn't stand it. Had just turned 21 years old. I had just had my middle son. And at the time, I'm like, the nightlife, yeah, I was a mom, I understand that, but I was also turning 21. Yeah, I was doing that, but I wasn't doing drinking. I wasn't going in clubs, all that type of stuff that you start doing at the age of 21, I was not doing. I still don't do that. But I had my share of that for right now. Is that mold? I'll put a little vinegar in here. I don't know how it's gonna turn out, but hey, we're gonna take our chances. But anyway, so I didn't want to be here in Texas. To me, it wasn't a good nightlife. I was not having fun. I did not like anything about Texas then. So I decided to go ahead and move to Houston. So I moved to Houston for a little while. I like Houston, you know, it reminded me of home a little bit. But then my mom got sick and my son got sick living there. So I had to come back home. I came back home. The doctors at home was way better. They were better at taking care of what was wrong with my son. Was found out he had obesity. He had an eating disorder. And he also had something that was wrong with his tonsils and his nostrils. I think they're called narroids. So he had those removed. So I almost lost my 19-year-old son when he was about, I think he was about 10 when he had those removed. So I almost lost him. So now he has sleep apnea. So my oldest son does have a lot of issues. That's why he has gained a lot of weight. My weight is from stress. And of course, issues that I'm having with my mouth. So we're in the process of taking care of all of that, just in case you guys wanted to know. I lost my sister back in January of 2020, right after her birthday. Right after she turned 29 years old. Didn't know what was going on. One night I was coming in from work and I'm like, I'm so tired. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, I can't answer my sister. I will call her back in the morning. I even texted her. Said I'll call you in the morning. Not knowing that my mom would wake me up an hour later telling me that she needs my help and we need to get there as soon as possible because she don't know what's wrong with my sister. So we get there, still don't know what's wrong with her. I'm not gonna get too much detailed into the story, but we end up having to call the ambulance, of course. And they had to revive my little sister that I was right there on the couch with her when she took her last breath and that was it. And I had to go in a corner and just start praying. And I'm like, no, this cannot be happening right now. This is not, we're supposed to be traveling. We was talking about going to Greece, Paris. We were talking about doing so much. She was looking into buying her first house and all types of stuff, you know. We were both working. Yes, I wasn't always staying. Well, I've been a stay-at-home mom for a long time, but in between that time, sometimes I just need to get out and go make my own finances and go make my own way, basically. So, there's a couple of things that we wanted to do in our lives that we were doing together. And I have other siblings, mind you, by, of course, my father. But on the other hand, this is a sibling that I grew up in a household with. Okay, this was my best friend. No matter how much we argued, we got into it. That's what sisters do, period. I don't know what to tell you, you know. I always wanted what was best for her, even though she thought I was just being a bee. But I always wanted, or I was just mean, because everybody called me mean. Even my husband say I'm mean as hell. But I always just wanted the best for them, and I hated the decisions that they chose to do. So I always wanted them to change those decisions. Instead of me telling them, I decided to hold it in and just be mad at them, right? So, of course, that's something that I'm dealing with in my life now that I've lost my little sister. And I'm, of course, in my mind, I'm able to tell her that because I feel like she's with me all the time. But what is wrong with this thing? Anyway, so during the pandemic, it was really hard going through the pandemic and understanding what was going on and still not understanding what was going through our minds and what we were dealing with when it came to losing my sister. You know, it was like it was so unreal. It was like it was a dream. And it's like I was in a cloud. Like I told my mom on Christmas, this past Christmas, there was a key coming in the door. And I literally stopped because I'm like, oh, my sister's coming. Dealing with that, I go through anxiety. I'm laughing. My husband is making me laugh right now. Stop. Excuse me, y'all. I'm still dealing with anxieties. I go through depression. Sometimes I still crawl up in my bed. And I go in my closet and I just scream, you know, because I can't believe it. It's just so unreal that, and I was mad. Of course, I told you guys before, I was mad at God. And sometimes I still am, because I tried to understand why did he take my sister? You know, why did he take her and leave her baby behind and, you know, and stuff like that. And that's not for me. I guess I realize now it's not for me to question him on that, because guess what? I feel like she's better off, actually. I don't know you guys' religion on here or anything like that, but my faith is what I believe in, and nobody can take that away from me, you know. But I'm still in the grieving process. And like I said, it was January 2020 and I'm still grieving it, because in 2020 I felt like I was grieving with the world. Like everybody was losing somebody. My sister didn't die from the virus, you know. We don't know. To this day, the doctors they're still not able to tell us from what. So I felt like I was grieving with everybody as I was sitting in the hospital waiting for my sister to wake up, and she never was going to wake up. But wake up, Kobe Bryant and his daughter passed away. You know, they were in the crash, and it seemed like the whole world at that moment was mourning over and grieving over him and his daughter. And then all of this happens. You know what I'm saying? Our whole world around us changed. Our lives changed. Period. Everybody's lives changed. So here we go again. It's like it was hard to grieve. And so when I came down here to Texas, and my husband and I was just visiting, it was something that came over me. And I knew, we had been. And I'm like, New York was too busy for me. Just like I live in Chicago, so what I need with New York, right? Everything just led me here. Everything. To the point that I was questioning God. I'm like, I didn't like it in the beginning. Why am I living? Why do you want me to move here now? This is not, what is this that's coming over me? It's like my body was at a tingling. It was like a tingling feeling. And I know a lot of people say, well, that's the spirit, you know, coming over you and everything like that. And that's how I felt when I felt like this is where I'm supposed to live. I don't know why, but this is where God wanted me to live. And I came home and I told my mom, and my mom was like, I'm not moving with you. I said, what? She said, I'm not moving with you. I said, okay, then I'm not going. You're not coming. Then why am I going? I'm not leaving you here, you and Malachi here, so I'm not going. And so after a while, of course, you know, she decided to come on and go with me. But it was what led up to that point. You know, I missed family events that we were supposed to be at because I just did not understand what I was feeling at that particular time. Do I want to move my kids? I lived in Arlington Heights. My kids' schools were 10s, 9s and 10s, you know, very good schools. You know, now I'm down here and I'm like, before I got down here, I'm like, I can't, where's the good schools at in Texas. I didn't even know. This is how in a cloud I was, guys. I didn't know people was jumping up and moving to Texas. So my reason to move to Texas is not everybody else's reason that they moved here. So I didn't know California was moving in, Chicago people. I knew we were losing people in Illinois, but I didn't know they were moving to Texas. You know, I know people was talking about it when we went to Florida, that they were moving to Texas and stuff like that, but I didn't even know it was a thing. So we get down here and all our neighbors are from India. We got some from Ukraine. We got some from New York, Chicago, of course. We got a lot of people on our block from Chicago. We have California. We have Nebraska. We have Indiana. We got Ohio, Michigan. It's just a lot of different people. I don't even know how many people that's actually from Texas that live around me at the moment. But we have so many people in here from all different states. So, and I told my guy years ago, I said, I want to put my kids in a diverse neighborhood, because I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but the neighborhoods that we lived in were predominantly Caucasian neighborhoods. So I'm like, I want them to live in a mixed, diverse neighborhood where their neighbors are Caucasian, Black, Indian, Chinese. I don't care. I just want them to live, because I love everybody, you know. So anyway, my mom told me she wasn't coming. So Megan said she's not going. Then after a while, you know, I don't know, a little part of me just kept pushing at it. And I'm like, you know something? No. Let me figure out, am I supposed to really be moving down here or not? Because I'm stubborn. I'm a stubborn person. I'm a bull. I'm a Taurus. So I'm stubborn as heck. And I'm hard-headed as well. And I'm like, am I really supposed to be moving down here, God? I don't like Texas. Texas is not for me. I say, what about Tennessee? What's wrong with Tennessee? I like when I was down there in Nashville. No, that's not where I was supposed to be neither. It was just a different feeling when I was here in Texas. And then my family, I have family here that moved from Chicago to here years ago. And they were like, well, come on, you know, we'll be happy to have you. Well, I'm praying that you move down here and all of this stuff, you know. And they have, especially my cousin, Tiffany, my other family, Missy and John and all of them, they have really welcomed us to Texas, let me tell you. But I just did not know if I wanted to be here. So I came down here again and I went to brunch with all my family, my cousin Dion, Elena, Tiffany. A lot of people went to brunch. And I sat down here, me and my husband, and it was like, my daughter was like, I want to move to Texas. I want to move to Texas. First of all, she wanted the house with the pool in the backyard, and we lost those, I don't know how many times. We kept looking, and I'm like, Marvin, obviously we're not supposed to live down here. So a year, the whole year went past again, well, half of the year. And then I kept looking. I'm like, our lease is almost up where we're living at now. It's too small. We got Mally, my mom now. Where we gonna go? Because it was hard to find rentals or even houses to buy, you know? So when I got down here, in the process, I didn't tell anybody, but I was looking for a house to buy of my own. I'm like, I'm gonna buy me a house. I didn't have my cousins, so nobody helping me at first. And then I'm like, obviously it's not for me. I just stopped. Then my cousin gave me a couple of lenders' names, and I was talking to the lenders and things that they wanted me to do with my business and my taxes. I'm like, no, I didn't want to do it that way. And then they were talking about lowering it because they were giving me a certain amount of money in the beginning, which would have been enough for a 4 to 5 bedroom house for us, that Gabby and Callie did not have to share a room. Well, that ended up not happening. So much was stopping. I felt like it was stopping us. But then I couldn't find anything. I said, I can't live in this townhome again. I don't want to live in Illinois at the moment. Where am I supposed to go? I was just at God's head. Where am I supposed to be? I don't know. So my cousin started looking for houses for us to lease, because we kept losing houses for us to buy, outbidding us and stuff like that. So I got my 2 cousins on board. I'm like, I need help. Me and my family are talking about moving to Texas. If it's for us to move to Texas, then we will find something, right? This is what we all thought. Didn't find anything. Still, nobody was finding anything. The things that they were finding, they were people were outbidding us. A lot of people were outbidding us. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not paying that much money. I know what Texas homes should be going for, and I'm not paying all that money to live in there, really? Or you had these old looking houses and they looked a hot mess and you want me to pay all this money, but you ain't did nothing to your home. And then you had the nerve to have schools that was 2s and 5s. Honey, no, right? So I kept searching. I said, whatever, you know, because I thought I heard God speak to me. He told me to go. Here we go again. He told me to go. He told me to come down here. So in this process, I took a leap of faith. Back to where I was. This camera is overheated. It's so hot right now and overheated. And all my batteries are dead now. But anyway, I messed up my makeup there. I had a little bit on under my eyes because I was so tired from the weekend. But yeah, so that faith walk I had to take. So I'm sitting in, to fast forward my life right now, we're sitting in a chair and I'm just, I know I stressed my whole husband out. I stressed him out. Because I'm like, you know something? He's like, we ain't moving. At this point, I had conversations with my friend. My friend told me, she said, Megan, everything that you say comes to life. You claim it every time. She says, you claim this. She said that to me. And my mom always tells me that. Every day my mom tells me. She's been telling me that since I was a kid. Anytime I say something or something that I'm going to do and I put my all into it, I do it and I get it done. And we come out blessed. And, you know, of course, you know, he always got to sneak in and rain on our parade. It always happens that way. You know, he ain't no good. He bad. So he ain't no good. But, I went and I was praying to my God. I leaned on my kitchen counter. It was kind of like our middle island, and I only had that little middle section right there. And I couldn't stay in the sound home. Everything was falling apart in it. I didn't like it, you know. And I leaned on that counter and I said, God, I just started crying. I'm like, I don't know what you want me to do. I done tried to buy a house. I done tried to rent a house. I done tried so much. I'm just gonna move into an apartment because I gotta go. I don't know which way to go, but I know I gotta go because my mind, guys, my mind was scattered and I'm still in a cloud. You know, I'm still not all there right now because I'm dealing with this and I know that I need some assistance with dealing with this. I lost my baby sister and I've always thought it was just just us, my mom, and sorry Dad, but my mom, my brothers, and my sister. And then, of course, our family has grown to our husbands and our kids and stuff like that. You know, I always thought it was just us. You know, no matter what family talked about, how family talked about us, we always had us. I had to go. And I just started packing my house, honey. I started packing my house. I didn't have a place to go. I didn't know where I was going. I looked for Airbnbs for monthly. Those were all sold up in Texas. They were kind of sold up in Illinois. I even looked in Tennessee. We'll live in Tennessee for a little while until something becomes available in Texas. I just had to go. Do you understand me? And I'm praying to God in this whole process. And I'm a hard-headed person. I understand that. I'm stubborn. And I'm just praying. And then all of a sudden, Texas license plates. Me and my husband would go have a hotel night because I just needed to get out of the house. So we went to a hotel down the street in Deerfield. And we were staying at the hotel and there was so many Texas people. And the guy walked up and he told us he was from Texas and all of this. And he was looking for someplace good to eat that he needed to eat now. And we told him, we'll go across the street to Alexander's, J. Alexander's, because that was the only restaurant around the hotel that was closed. And he was telling us that he was up here for work and stuff like that. And we were telling him that we were considering moving down to Texas. And he was like, oh, that would be nice and all of this. It'll be a change of pace. And it is. Texas is definitely a change of pace. But anyway, I just kept seeing license plates everywhere. I kept seeing billboards. When I opened my YouTube, people was talking about how God told them to come to Texas or how he just told them to go. Just go. And that's exactly what I did. That's exactly what I heard as well. You know, I'm leaning on my counter and I'm like, you need to tell me something. What am I to do? And he says, go. Just like that. Just go. And it was a good feeling all over my body. And I'm like, I'm out of here. I'm done. So that's why I started packing up my house, y'all. Start packing up my home. Kids was like, well, where we going? My husband's like, why are you packing up? I'm stepping out on faith. I'm stepping out on faith. So my cousin calls me and she took, I had two of them helping me. And my cousin Tiffany, she wasn't finding anything because I had told her how picky I was and stuff like that. So she was still looking for me though. And then my other cousin, she's a realtor too, and she was looking. She was looking for houses at first for me to buy, and then she was looking for houses for me to rent. So all of a sudden she calls me and tells me my husband's credit score low. I'm like, what? His credit score is too low. So come and find out my husband had used his credit card during the process of us looking, and he didn't get to pay it back. So it lowered his credit score. Then something hit that we didn't even know what it was that hit his credit, and his credit dropped. So mine was up there and it had to carry, but they also wanted both couples to have a high credit score. Girl, it's just, everything just kept happening. I'm like, it ain't for us. This is not for us to move at all. So the girl's still packing. I'm still packing. Didn't care. And I decided I'm going to get my hair done. I need my hair done. So I put my hair up in braids because I'm like, if I do move, I won't have to do my hair. And this is a good thing. I'm sitting there getting my hair braided. And my cousin calls me because I applied for 2 homes. Cousin calls me and she tells me, well, your credit score was too low, and then they said your husband had a background. My husband don't have a background, y'all. Not at all. I told her, Em, listen here. I will sue them. This is what I said, because my husband ain't got no background. If they can't get us into those homes, I'm going to sue them for defamation. So we called the people that they went through and stuff like that, and it was of course it was a misunderstanding. My husband was on it. Like, he got on it real quick. It was a misunderstanding, but they still didn't want to lease it to him. So I'm like, okay. So I just start crying. I'm like, I can't. I'm crying, and I was talking to my guy sitting in that chair. Of course, she asked me what was wrong, and I told her, and I think she was praying for me as well. And I'm just sitting there, and I just start listening to my song. And I'm going to put the song at the bottom of the screen. But I started listening to that song came on, and I just started praying and praying and praying and crying. And I said, God, if this is not for me, then I stay in this townhome. I will stay in this townhome until you want me to leave. So I'm on my way home. And my cousin calls me. She says, Megan, I got 2 houses for you. No, she tells me I have a house for you. I said, oh, okay. She tells me it's in, she tells me what part of Texas is it in. It has good schools. I'm like, okay. She says, the new build, it's not even on the market yet. It's already been, everything is in it right now. They just got to do a couple more touches for you to move in, but they need you to move in July. So then she calls me back. She says, Megan, I got another house for you. Thank God good. She said, I got another house for you, but it's kind of small. At this point, I didn't care. It was another house. He just wants you to send over the application fee and everything. So I sent over the application fee and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, he's like, well, when can she move in? And she tells him and everything. And then the other guy says, okay, you know what? I need her to come down here before she moves in. I need to come to Texas before I move in. It ain't like he wanted to meet and greet me. He didn't want to meet and greet me. But I had to move down here before then. So I get down here and I fell in love with the place. I'm like, you know what? I told God I needed white cabinets. I needed a clean slate. I was supposed to have a new built home of my own and space for these kids. And I got exactly what I asked for. I said, if it's not my time to buy, it's not my time to buy, and I'm okay with that. Not really, but you know. I like having what I want when I want it. So I had to praise him and thank him so much, because at that point, After they went through everything and told me my husband had a record and stuff like that, and they got back at it and they looked over it again, out of all of that they sent me through within those last, what took me 6 hours to get my hair braided. I sat in that chair for 6.5 hours to get my hair, 7, with a hollering baby and everything, to get my hair done. And sitting there very impatiently wanting to get up and scream. I literally wanted to scream, you guys. Because I'm like, I'm tired. I lost my sister. Then right after I lose my sister in November, I lose my biological father. I lose him. I'm like, I can't deal. I can't do this. And then my husband loses his aunt. So as we're sitting there, she says, baby, you got a choice. Which house you want? I said, I got a choice. She calls me back. She tells me, you have a choice. Which house do you want? So I told her the house I wanted. The man called her back. He said, he texted me. He actually texted me. He texted her too, but he texted me too. He said, how many kids does she have? Because I see kids on here. And he was like, she has 4 kids. She's like, tell her this house is too small for her. Because I was actually going with his house in the beginning. Excuse me, flower went in my eye. I was going with his house in the beginning. I love the green grass. I love the area that it was in and stuff like that. This one was a new build. You know, I really wasn't too fond of it. You know, the other place had a fireplace and it had a tub. This place only had a shower and a master bath. And I was like, I don't want that. And I came down, I want my fireplace, I want my big yard, and I want my tub. Those was the things that I wanted. I didn't get those things, but I got them white cabinets and an extra bedroom. I got that. So, with everything that I'm trying to say is that even though I thought he wasn't talking to me, he really was talking to me, and that it really was for me. No matter how many obstacles came my way, God still put me out on top. And even though I'm still going through some obstacles right now in my life, I still have a place to lay my head. I'm still able to feed my kids. I'm still able to pay my bills that needs to be paid. So I can't help but thank him so much for that. You know, when is my due time is gonna come. When it's time for me to build from that ground, it's gonna come. When it's time for me to buy the land that I want, it's going to come. All of that will come. And I'm manifesting. Girl, I'm writing it down. I'm gonna take pictures. I'm doing all of that because now I need a change in my life. You know, right now our truck is broken down and having to work for somebody else doesn't seem real. We're not people that work for anybody else. We're entrepreneurs and we love it. You know what I'm saying? You know, so making our own money in this trucking industry, yeah, you can make good money. Even though fuel is high as hell and they don't want to pay for the freight to be moved correctly. These brokers not paying. You know, you're still able to take care of your home, feed your family, and buy little stuff like this. You know, that makes you happy, even though you feel like you're sacrificing things, but you're still able to do it. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that was a testimony for anybody that think God is speaking to them and the beliefs that God is speaking. God is not going to tell you to do anything wrong. You know, that voice that you hear is not, if it's not telling you to hurt somebody, you know that's a good voice that's speaking to you. But if it's telling you to do something else, don't listen to that voice. You know, that ain't the right voice to listen to. I feel like something is biting me up under my table. But I thank God now that I've listened to that voice because I'm able to smile more. I feel the healing process in my body and in my mind. And I feel like last time that I dreamed of my sister was on my birthday. She came to visit me and she came to say hello and happy birthday to me in my dream. And I felt she was happy. She was where she wanted to be, you know. Even if I felt that she wasn't happy, she was happy in that dream. I don't feel like to share that right now, but it's things that I am going through. And I'm like, this is not why you brought me down here. But anyway, this is when, in the same process, this is the day before I was getting my hair braided. And I told my mom, even though I'm packing up, I don't know if I want to go. She's like, but you packing up? I'm like, I know I'm packing up, but I'm not doing this. I'm like, he needs to get in my face and tell me, Megan, I want you to go to Texas. Not just go, I want you to go move to Texas. Oh my gosh, y'all don't know what I went through to to get to this point right now. So that night, I said, I need to make sure that I'm doing this, that I'm doing the right thing for all of my children, even my nephew. You know, I call him my nipote. So I'm like, I need to make sure that I'm doing the right thing for all of them, you know. And so that night I had a dream. It was me, my sister. And in that dream, it was like she was confirming she's okay with it and that I should make this move. And my daughter was in the dream. And in that dream, I knew my sister was gone. I knew that she was like a spirit in the dream, basically, because I knew she wasn't there. I knew she was gone. And I thought I was the only one that could see her, but my daughter looked up at her and my daughter just smiled. And I still remember that dream to this day because it was like she was confirming that God wants you to go. And here I am. But now I understand that it's a healing because I know I was supposed to heal. I understand this is a process, but I'm just waiting on my God to tell me exactly what he moved me down here for. So I need to clear my mind and I understand that. And I need to understand the obstacles that I'm going through right now. Why am I going through them? How am I supposed to get up out of them? You got me down here. I'm not familiar with this place. So what am I supposed to do? You know what I want. Y'all see my pretty flower? Isn't that pretty? That is gorgeous. I was gonna fold, but this video is quite long. So I'm not gonna fold any clothes in this video. I have to fold them anyway. They right here. Look, all of them. And I have to go put them on hangers. So I'm not gonna do that now. I'm gonna show you guys the last one. I didn't put my eucalyptus in here because I think I'm gonna just hang it around the house so I can smell it for a long length of time and take the fake ones out the plants. But I'm gonna go get this into my mom and put it in her room real quick. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that. This flower has opened up since we've been on here talking, guys. But anyway, what was that? Anyway, I don't know what that was, but anyway, I love you guys. And until next time, if you like this video, please subscribe and give it a thumbs up. And for any other videos, if you like, go ahead and hit that bell down there below. I love you guys so much. Bye.